Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're taking a look at a question that's definitely on a lot of investors' minds, especially with all the tech advancements happening so fast. We're going to unpack the investment potential of D-Wave Quantum and really ask, is now, a good time to consider buying into this quantum computing pioneer?
This is a timely question. We've got some really interesting source material here focusing specifically on D-Wave Quantum. They're right there at the forefront, really, of the quantum computing sector. Our goal, like always, is to pull out the most important insights from everything we've looked at, give you a clear, balanced view, current standing, future prospects, and of course, the inherent risks. We'll try to synthesize the financial data, the technicals, market analysis, help you understand what's truly important here.
Okay, let's get into it. And actually, before we properly jump in, if you find these discussions useful, maybe consider subscribing or liking this deep dive. You could even leave a comment or perhaps buy us a coffee. Honestly, your support really helps us keep these going. So, back to D-Wave Quantum. Our analysis, looking at everything from fundamentals to their market position, it sort of assigns D-Wave a rating of 7 out of 10. But specifically for growth investors, with a high tolerance for risk, what's really fascinating here is just how quickly this whole sector is moving. So D-Wave Quantum, this isn't your average tech stock, is it? The sources definitely highlight it as compelling, but yeah, high risk. What are the key numbers we need to grasp right now? Where do they stand today?
Right. So as of June 18th, 2025, D-Wave was trading around $15.55. What jumps out immediately is the volatility. It's exceptional. The stock's seeing gains of over, get this, 1,300% in the past year alone.
1,300%. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, its 52-week range tells the story. It went from 75 cents all the way up to 1977 on May 23rd. More recently, it's pulled back a bit, seen some consolidation, down about 2.8% lately. Market cap is $4.86 billion, and the beta is 1.47.
Okay, 1.47 beta.
Which really confirms that high volatility we're talking about.
Yeah.
For you, that means it can swing, pretty dramatically. Big potential upside, but also significant downside risk.
Right, 1,300% gains. That's definitely a wild ride. It gets your attention for sure. But okay, stock performance is one thing. What about the actual financials? Is there real progress underneath, or is it just market hype driving those swings?
That's a crucial question. And the financials, they tell a pretty interesting story. So
Yeah.
they're still not profitable, right? That's important. But D-Wave reported really exceptional Q1 2025 results, blew past expectations, showed substantial improvement in operational metrics. Revenue hit $15 million.
15 million, okay.
Which is a staggering 509% increase year over year.
500%.
Yeah. And maybe even more compelling, especially for a company like this at this stage, their gross margin hit a record high, 92.5%.
Wow, 92.5.
For you, that's not just a big number. It signals potentially very efficient cost structures once they get a customer locked in. Suggests strong scalability as they grow.
Okay, that's a key point. Scalability.
And crucially, their net loss improved significantly too, down to $5.4 million. That's a 68% improvement from the year before. And maybe most importantly, their cash position, $304.3 million. It's considered sufficient to fund operations all the way to profitability.
That addresses a big worry with these kinds of companies, doesn't it? The cash burn.
It definitely does. Having that runway is key.
Okay, so those gross margins are really something. Shows a strong underlying model, potentially, even if they're not in the black yet. But what makes D-Wave Quantum so unique in this whole quantum computing landscape? We hear about quantum, but what's their specific edge?
Well, to put it in context, D-Wave hit a major milestone back in March 2025. They demonstrated what's called quantum supremacy. But importantly, on a useful real-world problem. This was published in Science, a top journal. Showed their advantage to quantum computers solving complex magnetic materials simulation problems.
Magnetic materials. Okay, what does that mean practically?
It's crucial for things like developing advanced batteries, superconductors, even designing new drug compounds. These are problems that have historically been huge bottlenecks because they're so computationally intensive. And their machines solve these problems in minutes. Classical supercomputers, they take nearly 1 million years.
Minutes versus a million years. Okay, that's a genuine aha moment right there.
Yeah.
It definitely proves the tech has legs. But going from a science paper to, commercial success, that's a big jump. What does this mean for their actual market position, their competitive advantages, especially with giants like Google and IBM in the mix?
That's where it gets interesting. D-Wave currently operates as, pretty much the only commercial quantum computing company that's solving these kinds of real-world problems for enterprise customers right now. Their key advantages are practical ones. commercial-grade systems. They boast 99.9% uptime, sub-second response times. That's what businesses need.
Reliability, yeah.
And they have a proven customer base already. Over 24 Forbes Global 2000 companies are using their solutions. Plus, their tech approach is unique. They specialize in quantum annealing.
Annealing. Right. How's that different?
It's a specific type of quantum computing, particularly good for optimization problems. Think route planning, logistics, materials design. It kind of directly seeks the lowest energy state of a problem, makes it very efficient for certain real-world challenges, which gives them a unique niche.
Okay, so specialization is key. And they're not just keeping this tech in the lab, right? They're actively using it through partnerships and sales. What are some recent examples that show this real-world application?
Oh, absolutely. They've locked in several strategic deals just in 2025. Really underscores their commercial traction. There's a memorandum of understanding with Yonsei University and Incheon City in South Korea that signals international expansion, government interest.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw the first purchase by a high-performance computing center, Forschungszentrum Jülich, in Germany. That's big institutional adoption. Plus, they've partnered with Japan Tobacco for drug discovery work. And they're working with Ford Otosan on optimizing automotive manufacturing.
Okay, so drug discovery, manufacturing, government hubs, pretty diverse.
Exactly. It shows the tech isn't just theoretical. It's being applied to critical industry challenges, generating revenue.
It certainly paints a picture of, well, real momentum, increasing commercial viability.
So with these applications and partnerships, how's Wall Street reacting? What are the analysts saying about D-Wave's future?
The analyst community seems pretty convinced. They maintain a highly bullish stance overall. The consensus rating is a strong buy, and it's unanimous 8 out of 8 analysts covering it say buy.
8 out of 8, okay.
The average price target is around $13.88. The range goes from $12 up to $20. And notably, Benchmark just raised their target from $14 to $20. That was just on June 17th.
Very recent then.
Yeah. So having firms like Benchmark, Needham, B. Riley, Roth Capital all backing it strongly, it underscores a significant level of confidence in their path forward. For you, this suggests the professional investment community is largely seeing the same positive signals from the company's recent progress.
So the experts seem generally on board. That's encouraging. But let's zoom out a bit. How big is the actual market D-Wave is playing in? Is there enough space for really significant sustained growth? Or is it more of a niche?
That's an important question about the long-term trajectory, and the outlook is quite promising. The quantum computing market as a whole is projected to grow at a really substantial rate, about 31.64% compound annual growth rate.
31% CAGR.
Yeah, reaching an estimated $7.08 billion by 2030. Just for context, that growth rate is way higher than many mature tech sectors. It really indicates a rapidly expanding frontier.
And D-Wave seems strategically positioned to capture a good slice of that, being one of the few with a commercial product and actual customers right now. So the market size and that growth forecast, they provide plenty of runway for D-Wave to scale up.
That kind of growth rate definitely suggests fertile ground. What about specific events or catalysts coming up, things that could potentially fuel this growth, both short-term and maybe further out?
Okay, near term, definitely keep an eye on their Q2 2025 earnings, expected around August 6th. Strong results there could give it a boost. Also, the commercial deployment of their new 7,000-qubit Advantage 2 system, that's a big tech upgrade, could unlock new capabilities for customers.
More qubits, more power, basically. Essentially, yeah. More capacity to tackle larger, more complex problems. Then there's potential government contracts, maybe through that Davidson Technologies partnership for Department of Defense work and ongoing international expansion like the South Korea Quantum Hub project.
And longer term.
Longer term, it's about broader enterprise adoption, getting into more verticals like financial services, pharmaceuticals, logistics, anywhere optimization is key.
Yeah.
Also, the development of hybrid quantum classical applications, integrating quantum into existing computing setups. And just the growing demand generally for optimization, especially with AI and material science booming, these are all potential tailwinds.
Okay, lots of potential drivers there. So given all this potential, but also the volatility we talked about, what does the technical picture look like? How might someone approach investing in D-Wave?
Right, looking at the technical indicators. The charts show support around $3.83 and resistance up near $19.04. The 50-day moving average is $13.80, which points to a bullish trend recently. And the 200-day is at $8.40. Significantly, the 50-day crossed above the 200-day, forming what's called a golden cross.
The golden cross, right? Often seen as bullish.
Often, yeah. Technical analysts tend to view that positively. And the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is at 50.6, pretty much neutral territory. Suggests it's not wildly overbought or oversold right now. For you, this kind of implies the stock has underlying momentum but isn't necessarily overstretched, just based on these technicals.
Okay, so technicals look somewhat constructive despite the volatility. What does that mean for actually getting in? Especially with those big swings, it sounds like just jumping in might be risky.
Yeah, given that high volatility and the recent pullback, the sources recommend a tiered entry strategy, not putting everything in at once. The suggestion is maybe an initial entry, say 25% to your intended position, around current levels, $15, $50, $16, just to get started.
Dip a toe in?
Kind of. Then, perhaps consider a larger chunk, maybe 50%, if the stock pulls back further into the $12, $13 range. Capitalize on consolidation. And then the final 25%. Maybe keep that for momentum entry if it breaks decisively above that recent high, around $19.80, especially with good volume.
Okay, confirming the upward trend.
Right. The sources also suggest a clear stop loss, maybe around $10, to limit the downside if things go wrong. With a price target in the $20, $24 range over, say, a 12 to 18-month horizon, it's a methodical way to try and manage risk in a dynamic stock.
It definitely sounds strategic, but clearly, as you said, not without risks. That high beta looms large. Beyond market swings, what are the other key risks people should really be aware of, and what's the advice on managing those?
It's critical to understand these, especially in such a new field. The sources flag several key risks. First, just technology risk. Quantum computing is still early commercially. D-Wave has breakthroughs, sure, but the tech itself is still evolving. Unexpected hurdles could pop up.
Still uncertainties there.
Definitely. Second, competition. It's significant. You've got giants like IBM, Google. They're pouring billions into quantum R&D. D-Wave has its annealing niche, but these big players have vast resources.
Hard to ignore them.
Third, funding risk. It's a capital-intensive business. If they don't reach profitability fast enough, they might need more cash, potentially through dilutive financing. Fourth, that market volatility we keep mentioning. The high beta means big price swings are just part of the deal here. And finally, regulatory risk. Quantum tech could eventually face government restrictions or export controls due to its strategic importance. That could impact their markets or operations.
Okay, those are pretty substantial risks across the board. Tech, competition, funding, market regulation. So what's the concrete advice for mitigating these, for someone actually considering putting money here?
Well, risk mitigation starts with position sizing. That's key. The sources strongly suggest not letting it become more than, say, 3 to 5% of your total portfolio.
Keep it manageable.
Exactly. Because it is high risk, high reward. It's also smart to maybe pair it with more established, stable tech holdings in your portfolio. Balance things out. And crucially, you need to continuously monitor their progress. Keep a close eye on the quarterly results, revenue growth, new customers, their path to profitability. Stay informed and be ready to adjust if the company's story starts to change significantly.
Okay, so active monitoring is essential. So for you, our listener, wanting to get up to speed quickly, what's the ultimate takeaway from this deep dive into D-Wave Quantum?
Right, connecting it all. D-Wave Quantum looks like a high-conviction bet on the quantum computing revolution, but specifically for growth investors who can stomach the risk. Their unique position as really the only commercial player solving real-world enterprise problems right now, that's significant. Combine that with the recent quantum supremacy proof, the strong financial momentum, especially those gross margins, it justifies a bullish view. But investors absolutely must be prepared for continued volatility. Size positions carefully within a diversified portfolio. That tiered entry strategy we discussed, it offers a way to participate while actively managing the downside risk. It acknowledges this is really investing on the cutting edge.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like D-Wave is shaking things up, pushing the boundaries of computation. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If quantum can solve problems in minutes that take supercomputers a million years, what other truly impossible problems might become solvable, maybe even in our lifetimes? Things like climate modeling, designing new medicines. The potential implications are just right.
Well, mind-boggling. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope this look at D-Wave Quantum has given you some valuable insights, helped you connect the dots a bit in this fascinating, fast-moving sector.
We definitely encourage you to reflect on what we've talked about. Think about how these kinds of tech advancements might reshape industries, maybe even our daily lives, in the years ahead. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.